Today we are going to learn a very interesting and very important area of this sutta. Not even in this sutta, but also in our understanding about the Buddha's qualities. Now you may perhaps vocalize, chant, Itipiso Bhagava Arahan Samma Sambuddho Vichacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purusha Dhamma Sarathi Sattadiya Manussanam Buddho Bhavada. This stock statement has been repeated by us all the time in our morning chanting, evening chanting, paritta chanting, and even when you get scared, you do that. So it is very important to understand what these individual Pali words and importantly these qualities mean in their real sense, in their entire, not the interpretations. You may look up these qualities on internet, and different people interpret differently the way how they saw the Buddha, right? So we have to look at it from their true sense of meaning. If we go to the sutta at this point, I would like to show the place where we are discussing now. We've been discussing this part. It's going to be number 10. Ahanchako bhikkhave evang vadami. You can read with me. Sache tumhakang bhikkhave aranya gatanang va rukkha moola gatanang va sunyagara gatanang va uppaccheya bhayang va chambitattang va lomahanso va mameva tasmin samaye anussareyat itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarathi sattha deva manussanam buddho bhagavati mamang hi vo bhikkhave anussaratan yang bhavissati bhayang va chambitattang va lomahanso va so pahisati. Now where and what is Buddha going to aiming at this point? Now it is understood that by reflecting upon the gods at that time, certain devas, powerful devas, other devas, fellow devas were not able to continue the war, or maybe they were really down with certain negativities, fears, stress, anxiety and all these things, depression. So the Buddha said that the best way to lower, minimize our negativities, fears and all that is to think about, is it by thinking about, reflecting upon the Buddha's qualities. But it shouldn't be a mere chanting. I think that is where we have to really understand. It shouldn't be a mere chanting of the statement. Let's see. Ahanchako bhikkhave evang vadami. Therefore, I am going to tell this to you. Sache. Sache means, Pali word sache means if. 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 Tumha kang, for you, bhikkhave. What kind of situations? Aranya gatanang va. If you go to the forest. Rukkha moola gatanang. Rukkha means tree. Moola means foot of the tree. Because they don't want to climb the tree, right? They have to be at the foot of the tree. Let's say you go to a forest where there are no other humans, and then you go to the foot of a tree. It might be in the city as well. Oh, sunyagara gatanang va. Sunyagara. Sunya means empty. Empty. Gara means house. What does it mean? What does sunyagara mean? Empty house? Every house has stuff, right? Everything. So this means a place where you have your private time, your private time, your I time, me time, personal time. Let's say you take time. Actually, we have to have that kind of a time every day, not too long. Then we will becoming introverts badly, bad introverts. We need some time to think about, for what have I been spending my day according to the Dharma? Have I killed other beings? Have I stolen other people's stuff? Have I sexually misbehaved? Have I lied? Have I taken intoxicants excessively and all that? So we need to reflect with our day. So we cannot do that in a party kind of setup. We cannot do with talking to other people. It's an introspection, looking into you. So we need that. Thereby we are disciplining us. So that's why the Buddha said, time to time we might enter into a personal room, personal place. Maybe you may go to a park, that kind of a place, just to take your time. So then you feel calm, tranquil, happy, and you're going to look into you. And even to look at what's happening within your crisis. Sometimes people are arguing, you're not happy about what other people are doing, right? So it's good to go for a walk, just to free yourself from the situation. At least to ethically, Dhamma-wise, we can respond to those events if we do so. Sunyagara, in case you people, monks here or anybody, happen to go to a forest or to a foot of a tree or to an empty place. So empty place is not a place where you don't have anything in the house. You need stuff in the house, but don't hoard. Don't stockpile and don't hoard stuff. That's not a good idea. Okay, now suppose someone has happened to go to these places, one of these places. Uppajjaya, but at this point of time, because of the situation, although you are alone, you are by yourself, but still bayang, fear, chambi tattang, terror, uppajjaya, loma hansuva. Loma means hair. What hair is that? Head hair or body hair? Body hair. Loma hanso. Hanso means erection. That means if you have a horripilation, or I would say a butterfly, a goosebump, because you don't know how to face the situation. Mameva tasming same anusareyat. You can reflect upon the Buddha. Anusareyat. Sarayata means you can reflect. Anusarayata means keep, reflect. Then the Buddha says he has 9 great qualities. And actually, somebody asked here a question last Monday. Is it that the Buddha is trying to become proud about himself? Actually, it's not about the Buddha. It's about all the Buddha's qualities. Every Buddha has these 9 qualities, right? So sometimes if we happen to look at things from our normal, unenlightened perspective, we cannot understand what these things are, right? So we might have to give some space. There might be a gray area, not just the black and white kind of perspective can be used to understand these teachings. We have to set aside kind of an area where we might not know, we might not be able to understand from our experimental understanding, from our normal understanding. All right, so 9 great qualities, as Sister Ian mentioned, Eng mentioned. We are going to discuss the first 4 today in details. There are 9. Arahang is the first one. Samma Sambuddho is the second, Vijjacharana Sampanno is the third, and then Sugato is 4. So I have a note for that. Day 55. If you look at from the age, the day of the retirement, it's not. Okay. Arahang. What does Arahang mean? This Pali word. arahang. Itipiso bhagava arahang, the first one. What is this arahang? Now I have given out 4 reasons why we have to treat the Buddha as arahang. So that means every time you chant Itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho, this statement about the Buddha, you have to bring these 4 contexts into your mind. Not that when you are asked by someone, what is arahang? Arahang is arahang. I mean, what is arahang? Arahang means that Buddha has 4 contexts to become eligible for arahang. Right? First one. So I put the Pali one at the end. Don't think that you have to memorize the Pali one just to understand the English ones. But I just wanted to give you some verified information about these things. Breaker of the spokes of the wheel of samsara. Spokes. It's like a Dhamma Chakra, right? Now Dhamma Chakra has spokes, right? It is said that King Ashoka set the wheel in motion in his time. So then the Dhamma went to 9 countries, including the Malayan Peninsula, right? But the problem is, even if you look at the Dhamma wheel, Dhamma Chakra, there are wrong ways of putting it out. Some Dhamma Chakras, their spokes have come out. So the problem is how to how to keep it going. It's like if you searching Dhamma Chakra. Alright, so we can see different Dhamma Chakra. See? Yeah, this kind of Dhamma Chakra. Now the problem is these spokes have come out. So this can't be a wheel. It's not a Dhamma wheel then. Chakra means a wheel. So I think this is a wrong interpretation in some way. But you can see these Dhamma Chakras. It's pretty good. It's like a wheel. So anyways, different people have manifested Dhamma Chakra in different ways. So it is said that Dhamma Chakra has its own wheels. But this is about Sansara Chakra. What is it? Sansara Chakra. Sansara. Call it Sansara. We call it Bhava Chakra in some other texts, especially in the Tibetan text, this is called Bhava Chakra, but we call it Sansara. It is also a wheel. But this is going, right? This is going. Why is it going? What are the things that are what are the things that are being used by this Sankara Chakra, Sansara Chakra? Kamma. Because of our kamma, it is going, right? It is our own kamma. We call it Sansara. Now the Buddha has destroyed the spokes of this Sansara Chakra in the first place. Now monks and other people who learn from him, they are secondarily understanding this theory, this practice. But he is the one who first understood the Noble Eightfold Path, practicing Noble Eightfold Path, attain Nibbana, and then he cut off the spokes of the Sansara. Now, ara means in one context spokes. Katta means destroying the spokes. But don't destroy the spokes of the Dhamma wheel. Then it won't go then. It's a good one, right? But this is our Sansara Chakra. Actually, in a more advanced understanding about the Dhamma, we can say Paticca Samuppada. Right? Paticca Samuppada means dependent origination. So everything is dependent upon something else. They are co-arising. The Buddha said there are 12 parts in this what we call Chakra. So attaining Nibbana, or maybe finding that spiritual happiness in a higher level, means you are going to cut the working of that 12 parts of the dependent origination. Right? So that is the Sansara Chakra. So because Buddha, as the first person, attained Nibbana, he destroyed the spokes of this Sansara Chakra. This one. But this is from a Tibetan context, but normally we have to draw a plain wheel with spokes. So that's one meaning. Arahang. Why is he Arahang in one context? Means he destroyed the spokes of the Sansara wheel. Sansara is a wheel. So we are in that wheel now. Huh? Who is pushing that wheel? Huh? Huh? Kamma are the fool of the wheel. Kamma means inside of the kamma there are craving, clinging. They all are under karma, right? Then now our actions become conditioned through tanha, craving, clinging, and all that. We don't have to separately pick tanha or upadana. So when you say kamma means conditioned stuff. So our actions, our speeches, our thoughts are conditioned from our craving, our clinging to those things. So Buddha is the first one to break that Dhamma wheel. Sansara wheel. Second, destroyer of the akusala enemies, wielding the weapon of wisdom. Akusala enemies. Do we have enemies? Are we supposed to have enemies in our life? No, but enemies are natural. Even when we spend a good life, there are enemies coming up. Why is it? Sometimes they are jealous about us. We cannot stop them becoming enemies, right? They become enemies. We cannot stop them. But don't create enemies. That's an additional unnecessary thing. Sometimes we don't know there are enemies around us. We haven't done anything wrong to them, but they have become enemies because of their issues, their crises, right? So the Buddha says, akusala is our enemy. Akusala. What are the main akusalas? Lobha, dosa, moha. Greed, hatred, delusion. They are the real enemies of our life, right? So when we have lots of greed, our greed will turn into an enemy to us, not to other people in the first place. Say for instance, you are someone who cannot stop having a moderation in the food. You keep eating. Then because of your greed, then you are creating yourself an enemy. Suppose you are a heavy smoker. You know it is wrong. You know you have to quit it. But you said, I cannot quit it. There are people like that. They say, I smoke. I know it's bad, but I cannot quit it. Virya problem, energy problem. They don't know how to summon their courage, virya, and then have a plan. They smoke like 24 cigarettes, 2 packets of cigarettes. They're going to turn into 23, 22, 20. Slowly, they're going to minimize. Not that tomorrow you are going to quit smoking. They don't have virya, even to think like that, right? So they are our own akusala. Let's say there are people who say, I've been meditating very well, I have a very good practice, I go to the Vihara, I offer dana. But because of that person, I become angry. So the problem is not with me, because of that person. So I have to be angry. I have to be angry. So they are justifying, rationalizing their own anger. But the moment that you become angry, that means you are turning yourself onto an internal enemy. And moha, when you are so much greedy, so much angry, then you don't know what you would do. You are so confused. Lots of moha rising, no panya going away, moha coming to us. So enemies. So this is a very large and a broad teaching, but I would say treat your lobha, dosa, moha as enemies, true enemies. So Buddha is the one who destroyed these akusala enemies for the first time. Way before everybody. All these Arahants, Pacceka Buddhas, he is the first. And he used Panya, wisdom. His weapon was wisdom, not the guns, not the knives, other things. It's the wisdom. Actually, wisdom is our most important weapon, right? When we try to become wise, we can minimize a lot of problems in our life, right? Let's say we deal with our greed, other people greed, our family members greed. We deal with anger, your anger in your family people. So what if you are trying to become wise, understanding these people, how to behave with these people, how to calm down oneself, and how to behave in a way that you can de-escalate a situation. Wisdom is the best weapon. So the Buddha used that wisdom, weapon of wisdom, to destroy the akusala enemies. And then this is the second context of why Buddha is Arahant. First one is he broke the spokes of the Sansara Chakra. Second, he destroyed all the... Now when you say Arahang, Arahang, these have to come to your mind. Don't go them unnoticed. They must come to your mind. Arahang. Now we talk about two contexts. Third one, the one most worthy of requisites. Buddha is not looking for our dana or whatever. He doesn't need them. But he is the most worthy person for that because of his sacrifice, compromise with the paramitas and all that. That's the third interpretation of what is Arahant. The fourth one is pretty interesting. The Buddha never engages in any akusala, even in secret. Right? Papakarane raha bhavatopi arahant. This is very interesting. If you look at our life, your own life, you may perhaps avoid akusalas. Other people cannot see you kill, you steal, you misbehave sexually, and you lie, you become intoxicated, or whatever other akusalas. But Dhamma journey is a mental struggle at the end. It's not just a physical or verbal struggle. Initially, it might be a physical struggle. It might be a verbal struggle. But at the end, it is a mind-based mental struggle. Right? So, if you look at our own life, since morning up until the evening, what is happening? Are we really not making akusalas? Right? Now in the Atta Katha, Pali commentaries, if you look at, they say, in order for you to break the first precept, you have to kill that person. You have to kill that person physically. Then only you are breaking the first precept. But the Buddha says that is even more dangerous. But you may kill, people can kill other beings with their thoughts, right? So that means from morning to evening till we sleep, are we having akusala thoughts that we cannot get over? Or if I ask a very direct question, how many people are we killing since morning to evening? Right? How many beings? That's a very good question. You know your answer. You don't have to tell me. Maybe you look at certain political wars going on everywhere in the world. And if you favor one area, favor one side, and you look at the other side with a little bit of anger, why they are becoming such. You may see your own country, you may see another country, you may see some cultural issues. Are we creating some akusalas at those moments? So we have to be very careful. Every time when a thought with regard to may someone die, arise in you, you are breaking the first precept. Okay? So then, why I'm telling like that? Because Buddha is Arahant, because he does not slay, kill anybody, even in a thought. Let's say you are unenlightened. You don't have a grace period, like in insurances. But let's say a thought of killing is going to kick in. At that point, no, this is not an akusala thought. I should not let it grow. I have to let it go outrightly on the spot. That's the good approach. Let's say now you know anger is coming. It's slowly becoming now. You notice it with your breath and with your feeling. So you are going to let it go outrightly on the spot because you know that it's coming slowly. Once it is uprisen, it is somewhat difficult to let it go because then you want to show yourself. Because we build up our own personal, perspective for others. So it's very important to understand that Buddha is Arahant in the fourth context as someone who never makes akusala even in a thought. Very interesting. I think we have to learn from him this way. That means our practice should direct towards a life, a daily life, where we are not even having thoughts of making akusalas. Killing, basic one, at least, at the very least, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and intoxicating. How many people stealing other people's stuff even in thoughts? How many people out there could be sexually misbehaving in thoughts? Akusala. How many people are thinking to lie? But finally it turned out to be not a lie. It's not going to happen. Right? So that means we have to on the spot understand those akusala thoughts as a lesson from the Buddha. So Buddha is Arahant because of four things. Because he broke the spokes of the wheel of samsara. Samsara is a wheel. And secondly, he destroyed all the akusala enemies for the first time out of all the others. He used the wisdom, and then he's the worthiest person for the requisites, and then he never engaged in an akusala after he became the Buddha, even in secret. So now when you say Arahant, these four should come to your mind simultaneously. Not that you think about one, but the other three are not with you. Why? Something wrong. Because you haven't learned them properly. Right? So you need to particularly understand these four. That is Arahant. If you have questions, please save the questions for the Q&A. So Arahant is a clear indication that the Buddha is very pure in terms of his thoughts. So that means whenever we seek his support with regard to the situations of fear, horripilation, terror, anxiety, and all that, his the emphasis of his life come from Arahant, because he is the purest in that format. There are lots of things, but I'm not going to talk all that because it's too much for you for a basic understanding. Because the sutta study, we are not going to go too much deeper levels, because just to keep your attention. So basically understand, he broke the spokes of the wheel of samsara. He destroyed the akusala enemies. Those akusala enemies are not only for him, they are with us all the time as well. And then he's the worthiest, and he never engages in any akusala, even in a secret context. Right? Number 2. Why is the Buddha called Samma Sambuddho? Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho. Here you can see. Yeah. Arahang is number one. Then second quality is Samma Sambuddha. Why is he Samma Sambuddha? Now Samma means, did somebody help him to understand the Buddhahood? No, he had to experiment in his own way. But there were certain people who kind of came up to help. Now, one very famous group is 5 ascetics, Panchavagya Bhikkhu. What did they suggest him? We know you are supposed to become the Buddha, but we tell you to practice very austere, severe practices, very extreme sila. What is the extreme sila they suggested? Don't take a shower for many years, which he followed. The Buddha, Bodhisattva followed. He did not take showers for many years. Now you are, what kind of dirty, unclean? Bodhisattva. He planned. You can check the sutta, Arya Pariyasana Sutta. He himself said, I did follow that. And then, not taking food and becoming naked, and then going to exposed to the fire even in this hot sun, right? So the idea is that the more you give pain to your body, the closer you become to the enlightenment. I think in today's world also people do that. They say wisdom arises from suffering. I asked from someone, really? How does it happen? There were choiceless situations that some people went through. So now I think I'm wiser. So then why not suffer more? Then you will be wiser. That's a unwise idea. Because pain, suffering, sometimes they are choiceless. They come to us. Not that they have to come to us. Some people go through less pain. Some people go through severe pain. It's not just about money. Some people go through suffering even while having the money and all that. So they thought when they go through a lot of pain, they are going to finish their bad karmas. That's the idea actually. So Bodhisattva also followed that. Then at a certain point he understood, this is not going to work out for me actually. Really going on to an extreme. That's why I always encourage an idea in my Dhamma talks. What the Buddha suggested was in his Noble Eightfold Path was an effortless effort. This is very interesting. We need effort, but it has to be balanced out. It's not a hard-working kind of effort. Some people misunderstand this actually. They think following Dhamma is a very tedious, very meticulous journey, very perfectionist journey. Dhamma is only for the perfectionists. You wake up early in the morning, do your meditation, chanting. If somebody is troubling you, you're going to blame all of them. I'm practicing Dhamma. Let me do this chanting, you guys are maras to me. I'm messing up in the morning itself now. The morning gone. And lunch will be definitely a mess. By the evening, crisis is happening now. So we cannot expect all the good conditions every time. Understanding any condition is becoming wiser in our practice. So that means the wisdom practice, effortless effort. So there are people who still think that Dhamma journey is a very hard-working journey. It is a journey that we have to understand the conditions that are coming to us at different times. Sometimes we are going to practice meditation. And then you cannot practice meditation because you hear a lot of noises, sounds coming from outside. Then what will happen? You keep blaming the people who are making the sound outside. Actually, that is a very good opportunity to practice meditation. I can check with my patient. Patient is the root kusala in the meditation. But if someone is to understand, no, meditation means you have to give me quiet place, you guys cannot come here, I had to be like this. But things don't work that way all the time. Meditation is a very customized practice. It can become different at different times, right? So don't think that you have to become a perfectionist in your. If you think that you want to be a perfectionist, especially with regard to the Dhamma, you are deviating from the practice from that point onwards. There is no perfectionism. I think the English word for paramita having some issues. They say perfections. You can say provision, fruition, consummation, the fullness, completeness, but perfection. Thinking that I have to do the best, right? If you want to be perfect in the Dhamma, somebody out here has to be the perfect out of all of you. But it is not a good idea. You do Dhamma in your own way, right? Bringing all these conditions into your practice. So, I was trying to tell you that Bodhisattva became the Samma Sambuddha with having certain advices which didn't work. Then he understood that rejecting comfort is not a good idea. Now there are people who might think the minimalist life, they want to reject the comfortable life. We need a comfortable life, but not too much, right? When you are not having the comfort, you might have some akusalas. Say for instance, you are not able to have your breakfast on a certain day, or whatever, maybe you have to grab something and you have to go to work, you overslept. And then you think you can manage that morning. And then somehow your lunch is going to be late too. These conditions we never expect. And then you think you are okay. But because now these two things didn't work, by 1 o'clock you feel really uncomfortable. You might, become aggressive, arrogant, you might speak not in a nice way, you might become mean. At the same time, you might say, I haven't taken my breakfast and lunch. You guys should understand. And asking to accept his or her anger. Right? So we need a certain comfortable life. It's not bad, it's not akusala. We need it. But not too much. Like the Kamasukhallikana yoga. So, the Bodhisattva understood by himself all this. And on the other side, he understood the Kamasukhallikana yoga. How did he understand the Kamasukhallikana yoga? Bodhisattva. Where did he understand? While he was a prince. He understood that excessive engagement in the karma is a problem. It will not lead me to go to this path. So, what we need to understand is that Bodhisattva became the Samma Sambuddha without the help of anybody, particularly direct help from anybody. But when we learn more about Samma Sambuddha, we can see that this second quality needs to be understood through 5 areas. The Buddha acquired all the essential Dhamma expertise through 5 key avenues. Number 1, the Buddha fully knew all that needed to be known. Abhinneye dhamme abhinneyato buddho. This might be a superlative understanding for us, but in his own way, he got to know everything that he needed to understand. Especially, he meant this everything within the context of sensory experience. He knew everything with regard to the sensory experience. What is this sensory experience? Our sensory experience. Eyes, images, ears, sounds, nose, smell, tongue, taste, body, touch, mind, thoughts. He knew everything with regard to these 6, which all of us don't know very much about these 6, very much accurately, according to different conditions. So his everything means these 6 Because we are gathering information, sense media through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body. Most of the problems, the greed, hatred, they are coming from with the issues of these 6. Nothing else. What is happening, I think I already mentioned to you, shared with you, but because there are newcomers today, I would like to share a little bit more. Now, with our eyes, external images are coming onto our eyes. Quite often, we are unable to process them in a healthy way. We are processing them in a way, the sense media become dominant and then more powerful. They are not going to be under our eye experience. But the Buddha says, no. External sense media with regard to eyes, sights have not to become dominant. So eyes have to become dominant. And ears, sounds are going to be dominant because our ears are not, we are not empowering our ears. How to empower our ears? How to empower our eyes? How to empower nose, tongue? By bringing yoniso manasikara. And then the rest of the qualities can be easily practiced. Mindfulness, kindness, metta, they all kick in. But if you don't have wise attention, you cannot do it. So that's the most important thing. That means you have to be able to bring wisdom into your attention. If you don't understand the moment, how to bring mindfulness? How to bring kindness? Have you seen people who are they know kindness very well, they know metta very well, but they are unable to practice. Why is it? They don't know the proper timing to practice them. They lose the opportunities because they are not having enough adequate attention. We call it wise attention to recognize, identify the moments, opportunities for those qualities to come in. So what I was trying to say is that Buddha fully knew what he needed to understand. No. Second, parinyayang. The Buddha completely realized everything through that experience. That's why he said just before he passed away, Vaya Dhamma Sankhara Appamadena Sampadeta. All our memories are transient. Right? So that we have to strive on with diligence. What are our memories? Whatever our ideas, our own perceptions about what happened to us, what happened to our people, or into our understanding. So he realized everything. And the third one is the Buddha entirely relinquished, pahata, gave up what is to be given up. Akusalas must be given up. Do we give up our akusalas on a daily basis? Or we just withhold them for an hour or maybe 2 hours, 3 hours? Let them come again, it's okay, I will manage. Are we taking Dhamma for granted? It's a good question. Good topic to discuss. Are we taking Dhamma for granted, thinking that we can manage it, but we cannot? It's like people think they have time to practice. There's no time to practice. The moment you think that you have time is the time to practice. There's no particular time. It's like there's no dress rehearsal. You go to the fitting room and then get dressed, see, am I going to buy this dress or not? You can't do that with the Dhamma. That thinking itself is the practice, the moment, because it's a mind thing. So, are we trying to give up akusalas on our daily basis, even in little small quantities? So Buddha did that. That's why he was Samma Sambuddha. And then Buddha fully realized that is meant to be. Actually, the second one is he completely understood what is to be understood, and here realize what is to be realized. Satchikata. Now this, the difference between two is understanding and realization are two things. Now we understand a lot of things. We understand Four Noble Truths, everything. We even understand the 5 precepts. But we are not able to realize what they are. The realization means it's a different level of that understanding. Right? It's like someone studies Buddhism academically, understanding. But someone studies Buddhism academically but they are not realizing. They might not be able to realize. That's why now there is a different group of people at the moment, not scholars, scholarly practitioners. Interesting, huh? You can't be a scholar in Buddhism. You just teach and go, asking students to learn. You have to be a scholarly practitioner. You teach and you practice. That will set an example on your students. It's good if they want to study. Otherwise, people might think you are indoctrinating your students in a secular university. But anyways, realization, understanding, realization. Realization is a higher level. I would say a few more steps higher than understanding. Because people understand differently. Different people understand things differently. Now, even for this simple question, how do people understand Buddha? If I ask 10 people, someone might say, no, Buddha is my God, he might come to me, he might help me. Someone says, no, he's my mentor, he's my teacher. People have different understanding, right? And then finally, the Buddha completely developed all that needed to be developed. Bhave tabbe dhamme bhave tappo. Develop means noble eightfold path. Right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right living, right mindfulness, right concentration, and right concentration. So these are the effort. These are the things that he developed. So we can also learn. We might not become the Buddha all of a sudden, but we can understand why he is called as Samma Sambuddha. So he came to that expertise, Dhamma expertise, through these 5 channels. That is why he is Samma Sambuddha. Okay? Samma Sambuddha. Another word for Samma is in the proper way, in the best way, in the proper way. Right? Samma. I think I want to clarify another thing here. You can see Buddha and Sambuddha. Now, even an Arahant is a Buddha. An Arahant is also a Buddha. We call Arahanta Buddha. But here, Samma Sambuddha. Samma means self-enlightened Buddha. And there is a difference between the self-enlightened Buddha and the Pacceka Buddha. Another Buddha. Who is a Pacceka Buddha? Who is that? Silent Buddha. I mean, he doesn't make noise. Huh? Now we have a problem in the translation. Silent Buddha. Huh? Yes. It's a translation problem. Pacceka Buddha. Silent Buddha. Some people translate private Buddha. There are Buddhas who are privatizing things, It's a bit daunting, actually. Actually, we cannot translate this word. Better keep it as Pacceka Buddha. If you cannot translate, don't try to translate. You will end up with a very bizarre meaning with that. Well, actually, let me tell you the difference. Pacceka Buddhas are not appearing when there is a Samma Sambuddha. Okay? Only when there is not a Samma Sambuddha, Pacceka Buddhas can arise, appear. Okay? Now it's a very clear indication. The main difference between a Samma Sambuddha and Pacceka Buddha is both have self-enlightenment. Both have the same level. Self-enlightenment. Nobody can help them. They self-enlighten. But the difference is when they become enlightened, Samma Sambuddha now want to talk to people. So when you talk to people, when a Samma Sambuddha is to talk to people, he cannot talk with the deep understanding. He has to use concepts. We call Panyati. Pali word Panyati. Then Samma Sambuddha can conceptualize his own self-enlightenment, whereas Pacceka Buddha cannot. Pacceka Buddha cannot conceptualize. What is conceptualization? But 5 aggregates, Noble Eightfold Path, 12 parts of the tip and origination, 4 Noble Truths. What are these things? These are labeling. Are they really existing? Tell me. Are these things really existing? 5 aggregates, Noble Eightfold Path. These are conceptualizations that have become a framework for new practitioners to practice. But when they practice, at a certain point, they understand they are empty. Even these are labels, right? They understand with the sunyata, anicca, dukkha, anatta, sunyata. When that they understand. So Pacceka Buddhas are not able to conceptualize Dhamma into the normal people, whereas the Samma Sambuddhas can. Now when you call silent Buddha, how do we understand this Pacceka Buddha? We cannot. So here Samma Sambuddha and Pacceka Buddha, they have 2 capacities. Samma Sambuddha has the provision of all what needs to be. We have those people in our normal society, right? There are some others among us who know a lot of Dhamma, but they cannot tell other people. They don't know how to teach. They are just like a book in a library. Only you have to go and where is the book and then read it. Otherwise it is in the library. But there are others who have the knowledge, who nicely put them into concepts. In the wrong way or in the good way. We don't know, but luckily if it is good, then it's good. Yeah? They become nice orators, speakers, right? That's an ability. I think that's really beneficial for many other people. So, Samma Sambuddha means that self-enlightened but can conceptualize. So, we understand these 5 contexts with regard to Samma Sambuddha. Because of the timing, we have to go to the third one. It's a very lengthy quality. Third quality, what is it? Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddhu Vijjacharana Sampanna. This is a hybrid quality. We have to learn it. I would not take a lot of time because of the timing. So I will explain to you so you can learn them later. Read. There are 2 things here that the Buddha has, whereby we call him as Vijjacharana. Vijja is one part. Sorry, Vijja is one part, and Charana is another part. Let me tell you in layman's language, knowledge and practice. It's like Bhante Ananda and Arahan Mahakashyapa on the both sides of the Mahayana Buddha statues. Now we go to the Theravada Buddhist Viharas, we see Arahan Sariputta and Arahan Moggallana, chief disciples. But in Mahayana temples, we see some temples, Bhante Ananda is on the one side, Arahan Mahakashyapa on the other side. Why Bhante Ananda is there? Knowing is not enough. He knew all the Dhamma, but he could not attain Nibbana until the Buddha passed away. Practice is also important, equally important. That's why they put Bhante Ananda on the side. Because he knew all these suttas. But he couldn't make it. Right? So, Vijja means knowledge, Charana means practice. Let's go. There are 8 knowledges that the Buddha had to become eligible as Vijja. Pubbe Nivasa Jnana. He could tell anybody's past life. Not one life, many life. That's why sometimes when he is walking with other monks, suddenly he's having a smile on his face. There are many suttas. Hasita, Manda Hasita. It's mostly about somebody's past karma. There were many stories about it, So he knows individuals' past karmas. Past life is actually many past life. Second, Dibba Chakku Jnana, divine eye. Divine eye means it is said that Buddha can see anything during his time that is happening in the whole universe. We also have the same thing, huh? Right? Do we have the same thing? Satellite, CCTV, yeah, we could call Dibba Chakku, but as long as we have the connection to the stream. I mean, we can think about how did the Buddha do this? Now we understand. We can have a satellite and all that, right? But Dibba Chakku is far more than a CCTV or that kind of thing, because you can feel it. And then Asavakkaya Jnana, third one, knowledge of extinction of all the asavas. Now this every person who is becoming enlightened is going to uproot asavas. Asavas mean the first layer of our akusala before it become defilements. So he knows how to uproot. If he doesn't know, he cannot teach other people. So he has that knowledge. Number 3. That's why when different people come to see him, he say, for you, metta is not going to work. You must practice anapanasati. He knows that person's character. Metta is not going to work because you have lots of confusion in your life. People who are always confused, cannot make a decision, they cannot practice metta. They must practice anapanasati. Very interesting. People who have anger issues must practice metta in particular. We should practice metta as a whole, but in particular, because that person's main issue is anger, temper, anger and all that. And people who have unnecessary, excessive, I would say, desires, say for instance sexual desire, they must practice kayagata sati, 32 body parts of the body. It's not recommended for other people, so don't practice it without a guidance. If you practice it, you will dislike everybody around you. So I put the disclaimer now. So I'm pre-exempt. Because in one of my retreats, I think I shared this previously also. There was one who said to me that I start disliking my family members. So it's not good. I don't join the family, events, and I even don't like to talk to my mother. I said, okay. So then she said something about a change of a meditation. Yeah, she went to a retreat, and then the person, the one who led the retreat, changed her meditation. She has been practicing anapanasati, and then he changed her meditation into 32 body parts. Ever since she started practicing, I have head hair, I have body hair, I have a nose, I have bones, I have sinews, I have kidney. We have them. Why we want to think about them? Why we want to think about our kidney in particular? And I have this and that. I have a brain. Finally, she didn't even dislike her body. She disliked everybody around her. And then she asked me what to do. I said, you forget about this meditation. Go back to your one you've been doing. Practice anapanasati. Okay, and then this happened a year ago, and she changed. And after a couple of months, I heard things have been going back to normal. Then she asked me, what is this meditation for? I said, this is like a prescribed meditation for certain individuals. It's like an antibiotic. Antibiotic is given to a certain person only for a short time under the doctor's supervision. Right? Prescription drug. And you can't keep it taking for over 1 or 2 months. If you are taking, you have to look at side effects. Then she asked, who can be the good target audience for it? Those who have lots of unnecessary obsessions, fantasies, obsessions about those things. So it's good for them. So they understand we have to minimize, stop them. Right? So that's why Buddha knows when he guides people for meditation, he understands which meditation is good for them. Don't practice all these meditation without a teacher. You're going to encounter a very terrible life. I think it's better not to practice any meditation at that point onwards. Right? Because when you meditate, whole thoughts, your whole perspective will be changed. Right? Okay, asavakya. Number 4, vipassana jnana. Insight knowledge. That means he has this understanding, great understanding about anicca, dukkha, anatta in the proper way. Now, unenlightened people understand anicca in a very marginalized understanding. Why do I call it a marginalized understanding? When you ask anybody what is anicca, we get old, we get sick, we are dying one day, so life is anicca. What about your happy changes? When you make more money compared to last month, you get dividends, you get profits, you get more commissions, you get promotions, you get compliments, you are doing well, you are doing better with everything, you are managing your relationships well compared to last year. Aren't there changes? They are also anicca. It's the other side of the coin. Why people only put anicca to only negative side of life? Misunderstanding. I always say anicca is one of the largely abused word in Buddhism. People abuse it. Yes. Because they only learn it from the negative perspective. So we have changes happening. Yesterday somebody was very unwise, and today by learning more Dharma, maybe learning become wiser, but tomorrow can be unwise again. Right? All are changes with regard to anicca. Right? So when we see this anicca, we don't have to respond to these people. And you notice someone in your life was very nice to you yesterday, and today all of a sudden become very mad at you. How come? Not how come, tomorrow gonna be okay. Right? Okay, I don't mind, it's anicca. So anicca is not about aging, not about diseases, not about death. Right? Inclusively, all of these changes. Then dukkha, people who don't understand all these aspects of anicca, they go through lots of pain. Happy changes, negative, unhappy changes. When happy, unhappy changes are properly understood, then you will understand at a certain level that I have to lower myself, especially my personality. Unnecessary personalization has to be reduced. Actually, we need a sort of personality. How many people are conducting personality courses? Because many people don't have a personality. So they have to teach them how to become atta. If you go to professional courses about self-building, right? Personalizing. So, but here what the Buddha says by anatta is that anatta has to be carefully used in our understanding, so that we are not getting trapped in unnecessary personalizations. Okay, insight knowledge Buddha had. Then Manomaya Iddhi Jnana, I will make them short because of the timing. Psychic power of the mind. That means there were times Buddha could impersonate sometime, probably send some Buddha images to some people like Matta Kundali. Thereby Matta Kundali saw the Buddha in a sort of Dhamma image, and he became a Deva or somebody, right? So don't say Buddha is not available anymore. Sometimes there were occasions Buddha sent certain Dhamma images, Buddha images to other people. because he cannot attain, he was busy. So people looking at that thing and then were able to happily die, mindfully die. He had that psychic mind. And then Iddivida Jnana means he had this power of levitation. There are a lot of supernatural things, but we don't need to highlight them a lot, but he had the power to do it. Although it was not done in his best interest. He didn't want to do it, but there were times he had to do it, right? Finally, Chetopariya Dibasota Jnana, that means he can hear anything that's happening anywhere. And then Chetopariya Jnana, he can read the mind of anybody. Telepathy. It's good, huh? But there are some other people more or less can read other people's mind. How come? Not becoming this. They know what these people have been doing for many years. So even they turn around, you are going to do this and that. They know it because of understanding character for many, many years. Right? It's good. Right? But don't try to put other people into difficulties by saying that you know everything what you are going to do. Okay, now there are 8 knowledges. So these 8 knowledges were possessed by the Buddha. So Buddha is Vijja. Is Vijja. Then Charana, his practice side. He was not just giving Dhamma talks only. He had his own practice. First one, Sila. He had a very good amount of Sila. Number 2, Indriya Sangvara. His senses are always calm. Interestingly, Bojane Mattanyuta. He knew the moderation in food. Why don't we learn from him? Many people are talking what to eat according to religion. This is the question to many people in today's world. What to eat? You may decide what you want to eat. But the Buddha's concern was not what to eat. How much you eat. That is the Buddhist interpretation. This is why many people get sick in today's world. They don't know the limit of their food. Sugar, continue eating, getting sick. And other bad oils, getting sick. Even if they don't become sick, they keep eating, they become obese. And obesity will become the biggest issue in another couple of years in this whole world. Because people have lots of food nowadays compared to many years back. So, where is the problem? Moderation in food. Buddha clearly says this affects our Dhamma journey. Don't belittle it. This is very important. If you don't know the moderation in food, you are going to fall apart from your Dhamma practice. What is the proper moderation in the food which the Buddha said to us? Chattaro pancha alope abutva udakang pive. Given to King Kosala, Donapaka Sutta. Donapaka Sutta in Samyutta Nikaya, you can check that. This is a very interesting sutta actually. Donapaka Sutta, Samyutta Nikaya 3.13. You can see here, at Savatthi, now at that time King Kosala used to eat rice by the pot. Then after eating King Pasenadi, Kosala went at the Buddha, huffing, puffing. He bowed and sat down one. And then Buddha saw this. And then the Buddha says, when a man is always mindful, knowing moderation in eating, his discomfort fade. Very interesting. I normally quote this last one. He or she ages slowly. Now Buddha is happy if you getting older slowly, graciously becoming older. Don't become old very fast. So his Dhamma is anti-aging Dhamma, in a way. I think that sickness, aging, it's not truly, if you take them as very dogmatic teachings, it's not nice. See? If you eat in moderation, you age slowly. You age graciously. So, taking care of your life. Nowadays, the rubric is what? Anti-aging soap, anti-aging shampoo, anti-aging food, superfood. Here Buddha says the path. Right? Eat in moderation. Let's see what happened. Now at that time, the student Sudarsana, the king's student, behind the king addressed him, please Sudarsana, memorize this verse in the Buddha's presence and recite it to me whenever I am presented with a meal. So if you have a buddy, you can ask, just tell me, I'm careful. I will set up a regular daily allowance of $100 for you for that, if you remind me, because it's a big problem. Yes, Your Majesty. So then, this is what he says. Actually, in the other sutta, maybe you cannot see this bucket of rice. In another place, Buddha says, Chattaro pancha alope abutta udakampive. This is the way. Never ever fill your tummy with food. Our cultural understanding is that we have to give food to someone to fill their tummy. That's an un-Buddhist idea. It's a cultural idea. It's okay in your cultures. So, the Buddha said, leave chattaro pancha, 4 to 5 spoonful of rice. And instead of those 4 to 5 mouthful of rice, or whatever the spoon of food, drink water. Udakampive. Very interesting. You think about, many people have gastric problem and they can't eat. When they eat, they are getting bloated. A lot of problems. Why? They may have their own issues, but fundamentally, they haven't started eating in moderation. Today eat a lot, tomorrow eat less. Then say we are eating in moderation. And day after tomorrow want to compromise for the day, they did not eat. So what? Is this a Buddhist understanding? So leave 4 to 5 morsels of food every day, then you are good. Right? For Dhamma journey, I don't know about other things. Other things you have to supplement in the best possible way. But for the Dhamma thing, it's simple. So Buddha has that. Number 3. Number 4, Jagaryanu Yoga. This is not for us. When the Buddha became the Buddha, everybody expects his services. It is said that he sleeps only couple hours. At night time, devas come and see him, ask questions. So that's why Jagaryanu Yoga. But as lay people, you need to sleep at least required number of hours till you become maybe an enlightened person. Number 5, Saddha. Trust about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Keep your Saddha at a certain level. Never ever lose your Saddha because of something. Mindfulness, Sati. Hiri, shame to do akusala. Ottappa, fear to do akusala. Every time when you come up with a akusala thought, should be ashamed of doing that. Have some fear of doing it. It's good practice. And then wide learning, number 9. Not learning, wide learning. There are people who learn only a couple of things here and there, and then think they know everything. So we know little knowledge is dangerous, So then we have to learn widely. Can you learn widely? You may not be able to do it because you haven't read these suttas from a long time. Maybe you approach a teacher and you read under his guidance, her guidance. It's better. Because they are experts in their subjects. Right? And they will understand what you want to read, what you are supposed to read. 10, Viriya. Energy. Balancing energy. Right? Energy is going here and there. So balance your energy. Right? Sometimes you have a lot of energy, so you want to do akusala on that day. Be very careful. Lot of energy. And then another day you are too low, you are hopeless on that day. Right? So try to keep your hope and maintain the purpose so that you can energize in the proper way. And then panya. Here panya means some level of wisdom, but here the highest wisdom that the Buddha had. Then the jhanas, Buddha had all these jhanas, first, second, third, fourth jhana. So these are the 15 practices which he had under the charana. So now the third quality is Vijja Charana Sampano. Vijja means 8 knowledges. Charana means 15 practices. You can check how many qualities are going to be relevant to your life in your own way. But some of them are very exclusively for the Buddha. Some of them are very generic, like moderation in food. They are very interesting. Actually, we have to put into our practice. Final one, the fourth great quality, Sugato. Gato means gone. Su means well. So there are 4 ways to look at this. The Buddha's journey to enlightenment is the purest. Why it is the purest? Because he had to practice paramita, right? He had to practice 30 paramita, right? Dana, Sila, Nekkamma, Panya, Viriya, Kanti, Satcha, Aditthana, Metta, Upekka, in 3 ways. 10 multiplied by 3, 30. So his journey to Buddhahood, Samma Sambuddhahood, is the purest. So he sacrificed, compromised his life. Second context is Sundarathanangatatta. The Buddha achieved the most sublime state of mind through the Noble Eightfold Path. That is the Sundara, the most wonderful, the beautiful place in our life is the Noble Eightfold Path. You may have your own paths, right? If you ask yourself, you have your own path. You may want to become this, that, but the most wonderful, the most beautiful in terms of Buddhism level, state of mind is the level you are creating through the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path, through the 8 path factors. That is how you are going to become more, the most beautiful as well. Beautiful means like not physical stuff, but in terms of the mind. Sundaratthana. Third is Buddha's physical walk, his normal walk. The Buddha's walk is a manifestation of the most exquisite grace and beauty. Now it is said that when the Buddha is walking, he cannot turn around like an elephant, great elephant. Elephants cannot, if they want to turn around, they have to turn whole body, right? The whole body. That means noble people don't turn around. Interesting, right? Ignoble people always look what's happening behind. So don't look back, huh? In life, people look back a lot, so they get messed up. Always look ahead, forward. Noble people. So this is what called Sammagatatta, right? So we don't have to look back a lot. We may look back only for certain things, but not all the time. I'm not talking about physical walking only, life. There are people who walk 1 kilometer, then stop and look at 2-3 kilometers back. I mean, you have to keep going, you know. Don't stop and keep looking back after many kilometers. So life has to go on. So that is the nature of a thriving, flourishing person, rising person. They are able to let go, they can let grow, they can keep going. That is the Dhamma life. Finally, Samma Gadatta, Buddha's use of speech is the pure, epitome of purity. We understand how the Buddha talked to other people. He was talking to anybody, and then he did not wait other people to start the conversation. Pubbabhasi, when people come to him, he smiles. Pubbahasi, first to smile. He was the first to smile. No demanding, you should smile, I'll smile after, you know. Oh, you should talk to me, otherwise why should I talk to you? No, he was sacrificing. We have to learn from his life before we touch upon jhanas and meditation. People go and touch all these very deep level things. Learn from the Buddha's life. We become good people, then meditation will become a normal thing in our life. When your normal life is not good, meditation will become a challenging thing in your life. Right? Because you are going to be artificial on your life. So, Pubbabhasi, when someone is coming to him, he welcomes that person. with a smile, gentle smile. And then he's the first to strike the conversation. When he talks, he knows how to talk. First he talk about dana, then sila, then couple other things. He has an order of talking. He doesn't talk about anicca, nibbana in the first place. You should become a monk or a nun. He talks nicely. First, generosity. If you cannot give anything, you cannot practice Dhamma. Right? Nibbana is far, far from you. Dana, then sila, discipline. Then about life, right? So there are many suttas, places where it shows how he spoke. So because his enlightenment is the purest, because he attained the sublime state of mind, because his physical walk is the most beautiful, and because his words are the purest. That is why we call him as Sugato. Sugato has 4 contexts. Once again, go back to the first one, Arahang. We are understanding Arahang in 4 contexts. Samma Sambuddha in 5 contexts. Vijjacharana Sampanna 2 contexts, 8, 15. And finally, Sugato is to be understood in 4 contexts. All right, any questions for today?
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
The first question I have is the 4 qualities. I mean the Arahant, right? It has already breaks the 10 factors. So when he already break the 10 factors, right? I mean the one would not actually engage in any akusala even in a quiet area, because you already break the 10 factors.
10 factors?
I mean the destroyer of the akusala.
Akusala means 10.
Yeah, I mean if they say Arahant, he has already destroyed the 10 factors of this akusala. So since he already destroyed the 10 akusala, I mean, how could he actually still engage in so-called in the akusala even in secrets? Because he has already break. So I mean, this is one of the question I have. I mean,
you mean because the Buddha uprooted these 10 akusala?
Yeah, I mean, here we have so-called
yes, enemies, and he never engages.
Yeah.
Yes, they are not overlapping. I think it's like overlapping because these are given into the way how he uprooted these 10 is why he is not going to execute any akusala in secrecy.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's how we understand. Because we look at these 4 contexts at the same time. So we have proof to back up. Because that is why he is not making them in secret. The other thing is that some arahants, they have vasana quality. Vasana means sansaric habits. Very interesting. Some arahants, they speak badly to other people. Some arahants, because we bring our samsara qualities from past lives. When arahants become arahants, they are not uprooting sansaric habits. We call them vasana qualities, but the Buddha. So that's why even arahants also don't do in secrecy. But because he is the first one to attain Nibbana, we say like this.
Okay. So the other question I have, the Arahant, do we call the Arahant the fully awakened one? Is it right to use this terminology also?
We can use that one. But still there is a small problem. Some Arahants do not get rid of their vasana qualities. Buddha is the only one who perfectly uproot all these vasana qualities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One last question. I mean, on the just now you highlighted the so-called the 4. I think it's on the
last one.
The 4 asava. I thought it's only 3 only, right? If you follow the sutta, it's only 3, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
There are different numbers for the asavas. Sabbasa Sutta has 3. Some other suttas have 4. So we shouldn't have to bother about it. So yeah. Yes. Other questions about today?
The breaker of the spokes of the wheel, is it due to our so-called our thought of existence? Is it due to that? That's why we actually, assist so-called cycles after cycles. Thank you, Bhante.
We are going in the samsara wheel because of ignorance, in which ditti operates, functions as a dominant force. Views.
Bhante, under the charana got 15, one of them is Sada. During that time got triple gem?
Oh yes. Yes. Because Buddha set up Sangha at the earliest. Yeah, Sangha members were there. No. Not even lay people should have saddha. Or everybody should have saddha. Yeah, even Sangha members, arahants, they all should maintain saddha. Because if they lose the saddha, they cannot function. Because there were some monks at that time, they were Buddhist monks, and then they joined the Jaina order. This drop for the Jaina order. They lost the trust about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So saddha must be maintained. You may hear time to time, there are issues with some other people who practice Dhamma, There are people who become noisy about everything, right? It's because they are losing in their saddha part. Saddha has to be maintained. It's a everyday process. How do you know you lost your shraddha? You trying to criticize about Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. That's the moment you have lost already. Right? You think Sangha is some Sangha members in a temple. You wrongly understand. Sangha is not few Sangha members in a Vihara. Sanghas are those Sotapannas, Sakadagami, Anagami. They are the real Sangha members. These are the followers. Right? So, how do you recognize you lost trust? Saddha means you start to criticize these things. Rather you explore. You can explore. There's no problem. You can ask questions, but not to criticize. Criticizing Buddha Dhamma Sangha can create an issue because you don't trust about it. Right?
Bhante, can we conclude that when we mentioned the word iti piso bhagawa, the whole qualities actually refers to the Samma Sambuddha?
Whole qualities refer to, as you can see, here,
instead of Pachaka Buddha or
Bhagava.
the Sawaka Buddha?
Bhagava. Bhagava is the main noun here. All the Bhagava is also a quality at the end. All these 9 are related to Bhagava.
And this Bhagawa, are we referring to the Samma Sambuddha?
Yes,
or we
in
can
particular.
Know, in particular.
Yeah, exclusively for the Samma Sambuddha.
Yes. Then on the 5 contexts of the Samma Sambuddha, the item 2, 3, 4, and 5, can we actually make reference to the second 3, 4 refers to the first noble truth, second noble truth, the third noble truth, and the fourth noble truth?
Some of them are identical. Some of them are identical, but we are talking about the Buddha. They are not fitting into the framework of those things exactly. Yeah. Some of them are identical, some are not identical. Yes. Okay.
Bhante, just follow up to his questions. Just how he was talking about these 9 qualities, is it only for Samma Sambuddha? Does it include Pachaka Buddha and Savaka Buddha? And also, just how you explained about Pachaka, so what is a Savaka Buddha?
Pachaka Buddhas cannot be called with these qualities because they don't have an audience.
Oh.
Now you see here Purusha Dhamma Sarathi, they don't tame anybody. They don't go to the public. And then Satta Devamanussanang, they cannot be teachers to others.
So they don't have that 9 qualities?
They have some of them, but not this 9 as a list.
The full set?
Yeah, full set.
So how about the Savaka?
Savakas definitely lower than
Lower
Pacheka
than the
Buddha.
Pacheka.
Yeah, definitely.
Final question. Does all Buddha have to be human being?
All the Buddhas?
Yeah, are human were human beings?
Yes.
They have to.
They are as such.
Why not they come from the Devas or from the other realm? Why do Buddhas have to be human being?
Yeah, very good question. Devas cannot become the Buddhas because their mind is not able to become the Buddha. Only Manusas can only understand their mind. One of the interpretations of Manusa means the one who has a higher mind. Deva mind is not higher. Deva comfort is higher than us. They are luxurious, but the mind is not higher. That's why when they come to see the Buddha talks about anicca, they become dizzy, they fall down. They never heard about these things. So if the Devas cannot understand anicca, if they fall down, how come they become Buddhas? Now I give a Dhamma talk to you. Anicca, good changes, bad changes. You don't fall down. Nah? You may have fallen down in your life. But Devas fall down. Yeah? They become dizzy. They may have kind of a vertigo, They cannot even keep them properly because this is too bombastic for them. So that's why. So that means it's not about the sentient being thing. It's about the level of the mind. Level of the mind is important. Only a Manusa, that Manusa may have become a Deva before. Definitely must become a Deva before, last life. Tusita Deva. All the Bodhisattvas are supposed to be reborn in Tusita heaven. Because when the Bodhisattva is reborn here, Bodhisattva's mother has to die and be reborn in Tusita, back again. Son born here, reborn as a Bodhisattva, and mother pass away, go to the Tusita heaven. So, other than that, other individuals cannot understand these conditions. Only the human place has the conditions for a Bodhisattva to become a Buddha. That's what we understand, because I haven't seen. That's what I have understood in the text and my own understanding. Okay, so let's then transfer the good karmas. May all the good karmas which we have been making today in understanding the first 4 great qualities of the Buddha. There are 5 more to study. Ato nibbana sangpatti iminate samiccetu sadhu sadhu sadhu.